On August the 22nd, Dacara left her home in Lanham, saying that she was going to get gas, as she was last seen communicating with her father via text message. August the 23rd, her family reported her missing in Prince George's County. August the 24th, her 2013 Ford Edge SUV was found abandoned in Hyattsville. August the 31st, a body found by the Maryland State Police in the grassy area off Route 50 in Anne Arundel County was identified as Thompson. Her body was naked and had jewelry and tattoos that helped identify her as Dacara Thompson. Now we're going to fast forward to the murder arrest. Hugo Hernandez Mendez was arrested and charged with first and second degree murder in connection with Thompson's death. Surveillance footage showed Thompson walking to Hernandez Mendez SUV outside of a Hyattsville nightclub, which is the Galaxy nightclub, on the night she went missing, and then getting into the vehicle. Police believe Hernandez Mendez took Thompson to his home in Bowie, where she was unalived. He is accused of throwing her body off the US 50 bridge in South River, a drop of over 30 feet. Ongoing investigation. The motive for the killing is still under investigation. Authorities are tight-lipped about the details, but the investigations involves multiple agencies. Now, let's circle and highlight. Authorities are tight-lipped about the details. I have those details. Now, we all know when, where, how, who. The question that is on everybody's mind, if you've been following this case, is why? Why did she get into the vehicle? Now, I have an update. I have some new shocking information and evidence. Now, before I get started, just know a lot of y'all are not going to like this. So if you are easily triggered, if you don't want to hear it or see it, please click off this video right now. I am giving you time. That's why I didn't put it in the thumbnail. That's why I didn't put it in the beginning of the video. Please get up out of here. I'm letting you know right now that you're not going to want to see this if you are holding on to the fact that maybe, it was all innocence. I'm giving y'all an out right now. So give y'all 3 seconds. Okay, for those of you who are still here with me, just know I did not want to post this. The person that gave me the information, the evidence, they said they will only give it to me if, I promised to go live and post it. And they said the reason why was because the young women need to hear this. They got people out there who are in denial about what she was doing. I think most of us, men who are over the age of 35, and plus the people that grew up in that area, y'all got to understand, I'm from that area. I'm well connected in the underworld in that area. Well, when I was coming up anyway. When I was her age, I turned 19 in the same jail that they're holding Hugo Hernandez, that fucking monster. I was in that jail looking at 40 years at her age, so I have no right to judge. I have no room to cast judgment. The reason why I'm doing this is because a friend of mine told me to get on here and talk to these young girls, because a lot of these young girls are jumping off into this lifestyle thinking that it's something that it's not. They thinking that it's the internet. This is not the internet. This is the real world, you know? So here we go. For those of us who saw this case and thought maybe she was doing something she shouldn't have, which does not mean she deserved to be unalive. Make no mistake about it. Hugo is a monster. He is the predator. He is the monster. He did the most wrong in this. But sometimes our actions can put us in reach of certain evils. So we really have to be careful with what we tell children and young people, because we be telling them, y'all can do whatever you want to do, and no man have the right, and people don't have the right to do things to you. We know they don't have the right, but some people don't give a damn about a right. They do it because they can. They do it because they often have the opportunity to do it. So please prepare your children for the world that is, and not the world that you want. So the friend of mine, I'll say it. I'll come out and say it. He's an alleged ex-P. He's an old P from back in the day, and he knew some people that knew some people, and yes, they confirmed that she was working. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news. I hate to be the person to say it, but eventually it will come out. The police already know. I believe the family already know, and those were the details that the police was not releasing. Okay, so I'm letting y'all know right now that was what it was. So please, y'all, let's use this as an opportunity, right? Because we can find some type of positive in a negative situation. Let's use this as a tool. Sit your daughters down. Sit your nieces down. Sit your little sisters down and let them see this case in its totality and let them know that there are monsters out there. See, the XP, he told me that, what a lot of these young women don't understand is that these tricks are some of the worst people in society. You think it's the drug dealers, you think it's the P's their self. And he said, he said, I'm not trying to put my bid in. He said, but I've never hit a woman a day in my life. I've never hurt a woman a day in my life. He said, I know people may have looked at my profession as, something that is disgusting and, whatever. He said, but he never, in his words, hurt a girl. He said it was always by choice, not by force. They was going to do it anyway. He literally just got paid for protection, almost like a bodyguard, that gives wisdom. That's it. That's his words, not mine. I don't agree with none of that. I don't agree with the lifestyle. But once again, I don't judge people. I have no room to judge anybody. So he said, man, get on that internet and talk to them young girls because most of these young girls are getting off into that sugar daddy, sugar baby lifestyle. He said, you got college students. He said, you got young, beautiful, attractive girls who may have seen their favorite rapper, talking about it. The city girls, the hot girls, the Cardi B's of the world who make it look so glamorous. These OnlyFans models who make it look so glamorous online on these social media platforms. He said that is not the reality. Most of these girls, if they were honest, they would tell you that they get degraded, they get humiliated, they get stalked, they get assaulted, and they get raped on the regular. But most of these girls, they don't report these things because they are ashamed. They are ashamed what their family would think when they come out. They are ashamed to go to court. They are ashamed about what they're doing. And a lot of these tricks know it. He said the trick has a hate in his heart for these women. These are the type of women that rejected him his entire life. He know that they are using him for his money. He said, now the worst thing that can happen is, because a ex-worker's job is to play into any fantasy that the customer may want, right? He said, now the problem is sometimes if, the woman is not careful, sometimes he can start to believe that they're in a whole relationship because she's literally playing that role. He said, now what a lot of young girls don't understand is when to cut it off, how to set those boundaries. They just do whatever for the money, and as long as they getting the money, they don't give a damn what he feeling, what he thinking, right? But these men, they become obsessed with these women. They become their regulars, and then they are doing everything for them. I mean, even off the books or off the, outside of those transactions, they're coming to bail them out of jail. They're coming, oh, your light's about to get cut off. I got you. I'll take you shopping. Your kids need this. Oh, they sick. I got you. Say that's when you got to be careful because these men are in a whole relationship in their minds. He said they could be married, they can have a regular job. It does not matter. He said it does not matter. A lot of these men ain't wrapped too tight. A lot of these men have some type of mental issues. A lot of these men have substance abuse problems, you know? And he said once these men get attached like that, the worst thing you can do is snap them out of that fantasy too quick. And that's why usually these type of situations are not planned. He said, I don't believe that Hugo Hernandez meant, or shall I say planned to do what he did. For the simple fact that they spoke, you know. He said another thing too. He said another thing too. Uh, he do believe that she was inside of the club. He do believe that she had a fake ID. She was going around, I guess, saying she was 23 years old. She was inside the club. She met him or whatever. That is a well-known area. If you're from that area, you know that is a well-known red light district, right? That is a well-known working area, right? You got that, and then you got the college, the nightlife, and that attracts predators. That attracts so many predators, right? We all know this. If you live in the area, you already know this. Or if you are connected to the underworld, you already know this, right? So it's a dangerous area. So the way it happened, her going over to his window, them talking for a minute, because people in the streets know that that driver side window is the office. That's where a lot of deals get finalized in the streets, right? The fact that he drove her 40 minutes back to his house. I mean, if you have common sense, you should know that it doesn't make sense. If he had plans to do anything else, why would he drive her back to his house where he rents a room in a neighborhood that is a very, very quiet suburb? Everybody who know the area know Bowie is a very quiet area. After 9 p.m., everything stops. It's so quiet out there. So it just does not make sense if he had plans on doing anything. He took her back to the house because there was a mutual agreement. And then during or after, he said, now, it's another thing they need to know. Y'all got to excuse the noise. I'm out here on the block. One thing y'all got to know, the most dangerous time during this type of transaction is when the customer finishes. It's because usually that's when he comes to his senses. Oh, I just spent my rent money. Oh, I just spent my gas money. Oh, I just spent my baby's diaper money. And then he's trying to finesse her out of it. And it's sad because a man is usually more powerful than a woman. So if he's not getting his way, he can snap. Remember, a lot of time they off substances. This 2, 3 in the morning we talking about. A working man is not up at 2, 3 in the morning unless he's on something. So, he said, go talk to them kids, man. Try to get some of them girls. He said, if we could save just one, this will all be worth it. And he said, you're gonna get some smoke behind it. He said, but you built like that. You ain't worried about that. I said, nah, I ain't too worried about it. But I do understand how it looks though. It does look distasteful what I'm doing. So I'm not even mad at y'all if y'all say whatever y'all say about me. I'm not even mad. As long as I get through to at least one young girl, it'll all be worth it, man. You know? So rest in peace to the young lady. Again, she did not deserve it. She did not. But once again, we have to understand that certain actions can put you in the reach of certain evils. So please, man, let's protect our babies because these monsters are out here. Stop acting like they not. Stop acting like we living in a world where you can do whatever you want. Me, grown man, I would like to think I'm built like that. I can't go to certain places with my jewelry on, money in my hand, walking through any neighborhood and, walk through the ghetto at night with my jewelry on and my money in my hand. Something happened to me, y'all be calling me dumb. So that's what I'm saying, man. We really have to protect our babies, man. And another thing too that I'm gonna say, and then I'm out. There comes a time in your relationship with your children, your nieces, your whatever, right? Where you come to this crossroad where you can either be the cool parent or be the protective parent. And way too many parents are choosing to be the cool parent. You understand what I'm saying? It's not that you don't trust them, you don't trust the world. Y'all dig that? So come on, man, let's get it together, man. I'm not about to preach. We know what we need to do. We know the work. We know our culture is fucked up. We know it's fucked up. Y'all know that. These children, the peer pressure they dealing with to buy all of these designers and these high-end items and stuff, man. It's a lot of pressure on them. And don't act like you've never been in that position where your reputation was everything. You was young before. You know what it's like. So let's try to understand where the kids are coming from and protect them where they at. Top, man.